What's going on, Geminites? It's your boy Gem Mint. It's Wednesday, January 15th. We're going to do the new comic book day reviews. We're keeping it spoiler free. Stay tuned. Alright guys, before we get into the new comic book day reviews, man, I gotta get this Funko Pop addiction under control, so I'm gonna stop collecting the Dragon Ball Z Pops. It's just, there's so many of them, the collection's getting too big. So we're gonna do a giveaway where you can win my entire Dragon Ball Z Funko Pop collection. Stay tuned at the end of the video, and I'll tell you guys how you can win. Alright, so I did have a couple of books that were left off of my pull list from last week. My shop was shorted, and actually still one of them didn't come in. It was these three books here. Ghost Rider Fallen Angels, Oblivion Song, and then Dying is Easy, issue 2. Still don't have. But Ghost Rider 4, we're just going to talk about real quick. I loved Ghost Rider 4. It's the end of the first arc, but it feels really like just the start of a new one. The Johnny Blaze and Wong scene was amazing. Johnny Blaze and Mephisto, I love the interactions. And the end kind of a change for Danny Ketch, man. So it's pretty interesting. I like them incorporating the limbo and the hell stuff and trying to kind of rescue Johnny Blaze from this insanity that he's been in since being the ruler of hell. Really dug Ghost Rider 4. Alright, so for Fallen Angels issue 4, I'm really surprised that people don't like this title. I really enjoy this run. I think the artwork is great, and I love the paneling, how they kind of make it a part of the artwork. We get some more information about Apoth and his flunky, what is it, Overlook or Overwatch or something like that. We're kind of recruiting a new team with Husk, with Bling, with X-23, Young Cable, and Psylocke to kind of go against Apoth, who is this child-killing machine monster that's plaguing the humans. And it's kind of interesting seeing the Krakoan mutants still trying to stick up for the humans, even though they're going through all this drama. Amazing scenes with Mr. Sinister and with Magneto. This was a really good issue, guys. Oblivion Song 23, I think Kirkman is killing this. This like reminds me and feels like Walking Dead, but in color with space aliens in different dimensions. Very cool to see this kind of rescue mission put into place, and kind of they marked all these like safe jump areas. So okay, you transfer to another dimension, but if you go up a hill and transfer back to our dimension, you'll straight fall down like 30 stories, right? So they have it all mapped out. They're on a rescue mission to go save the specimens, which is really other humans and their family members that are being captive in Oblivion. We know that the Oblivion Faceless Men, we have their race name, but I forget what it is, want to come to Earth to save themselves. I guess in Oblivion something happened. It's kind of alluded to. The story is moving forward. I'm really digging Oblivion Song. It is a better trade weight book though. Kind of issues bi-weekly or monthly or whatever. It just takes too long, man. But it's very it's a great story to binge read for sure. Real quick, I already covered these two books. These were the issues that Marvel Comics sent to us a little bit early. We did a separate video review for these. But you have Dan Slott's Iron Man 2020, the Arno Stark-led Iron Man book that looks like it's going to tie into a bunch of Iron titles. Like I mentioned, they have a rescue issue, Iron Age, I, Wolverine, which I'm pretty sure is that Albert machine version of Wolverine, Machine Man, and like I said, it's a robot rebellion going against the humans, led by a familiar consciousness. And then we have Arno as the Tony Stark of 2020, who is going to stop him. I don't know why I held this the whole time and didn't put it on the stand, but I guess because I already reviewed these. Just like Venom the End, very dense, wordy, Architect from the Matrix type of dialogue, but it's a pretty cool what if Venom lived to the end of time type of book. What would the symbiote do? How long does he keep Eddie Brock alive? What are the threats in the future that plague mutant kind or humankind or just bio life in general? So kind of a trippy book. It doesn't feel like a Venom book, and I guess it's like a symbiote type of book, like the Clintar in space type episodes. So with that being said, it was cool. It was trippy. If you got extra $5 laying around, pick it up. Alright, Ruins of Ravencroft Sabertooth issue 1. I really enjoyed these Ravencroft issues. I really like the first one that came out. This is the second one, and I really like how they tied Sabertooth and Wolverine to the origins of Ravencroft. It makes sense. They've been around for like hundreds of years, since the 1800s. So it goes back to early times in Ravencroft, and I like the horror aspect of this. It's kind of got a American Horror Story type of vibe. Ravencroft is like Marvel's version of Arkham Asylum, and we get more of his origins and the type of things that went down there in the early years. And then it comes to the present time, and if you remember, we have Misty Knight, Mayor Kingpin, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, and John Jameson, who found this kind of underground Ravencroft, and there's monsters there and shit happens. So it was a good read, though. I like the Ravencroft stuff. All right, Revenge of the Cosmic Ghost Rider issue 2. Man, you basically just have Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's toting around this girl Cammy, who's a pure innocent soul or whatever, and she really is. And he's just destroying evil throughout the galaxy, running amok. He's being crazy, and that's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, this is like an action blockbuster. You're not getting much depth to this book, but it's a pretty fun book. I mean, it was all right. Yo, Jessica Jones, issue 1. What is this? Blind Spot by Kelly Thompson. Surprised the hell out of me. This is almost my pick of the week. This was a good-ass book. I like Jessica Jones. I loved the Bendis run. I think this was a great read. Jessica Jones, she's married to Luke Cage. They have a daughter, but she's still doing her private investigation stuff. And she's basically getting framed for a murder in this book. And it really flowed well. I was really surprised, man. Kelly Thompson does like a goofy, zany book like Deadpool. And now she's doing this serious, more serious tone Jessica Jones. I think the dialogue was great. And I was really impressed by Jessica Jones, man. I'm glad that I picked it up. And Kelly Thompson, man, won me over. Finally found a book that I liked. But, yeah, man, pick up Jessica Jones for sure. All right, so that's all the Marvel stuff. We got a few Valiant books. We have Bloodshot number 5. Yo, this felt like a 90s comic from the first panel. Like, just the way they do the women and, like, the anatomy. And it just felt like a 90s book all the way to the mall scenes. Dressed up like a punk rocker and other kind of punk vibes. Like, I thought it might have been set in the future, but it looks like it was set in 2020. Bloodshot's testing out some new anti-Science gear and technology to go against some Science. You have this, how do you pronounce her name? Edelyn. The hunt for Edelyn is what's going to happen here. And her cyborg sister. Like, it felt so 90s, man. I really like Bloodshot number 5, and I like to see where they're going to go with this one. Then we have Rye 3. Yeah, you have Rye. He's still riding the desert with the Raijin and kind of Mandalorian style, right? But what can I really say here that doesn't have spoilers? I mean, basically, if you remember from issue 2, Rye is unconscious and he's in his own mind verse, and we find out why. And then you have Raijin trying to kind of fend for them while they're being attacked by things like dinosaurs and robot hunters and such. But I like it. I'm ready for it to start moving along, though, because it's kind of been the same type of thing for the first 3 issues. But with Dan Abnett, you can't go wrong. Jumping over to Image, Undiscovered Country by Scott Snyder 3. This was going to be the issue that made me decide whether I was going to keep reading this or not. And, yo, it definitely starts adding new aspects to what this book is about. It's not just America put up walls and it's been by itself for the next 30 years. Now we're talking about the theory of relativity within our own planet and things like that. So it's getting really interesting, and it's going to have me keep reading it for a few more issues at least. But I'm excited to see some more stuff happen. They're playing with some dope concepts, though. All right, we have Spawn 304. So we are understanding Al Simmons' plan. I think it was mentioned in previous books that he kind of put 5 pieces of his costume into other people, and we find out why here. We kind of find out who the 5 players are, the return of a previous Spawn that we haven't seen in a minute. We get more medieval Spawn, and we're understanding what his role is going to be a little bit more. Al's running around with She-Spawn. Oh, and then you have the Redeemer Spawn as well. So, yeah, again, another kind of book where, all right, let's go, let's move it along. We had a big lead up to 300. It was dope, but now we're getting a little stagnant. But I guess the players are being pieced on the board right now. So I'm digging Spawn. I mean, McFarlane's script and plots, I can see he's building towards something. And then you have Jason Sean Alexander with the artwork. He's killing the artwork. And, yeah, I enjoyed it. Moving over to DC, we have The Batman's Grave, issue 4. It's written by Warren Ellis, but is it written? This was like a silent issue, man. This had little to no dialogue. It was a lot of action. Batman busting in to this hotel and doing an Arkham Asylum arm and leg breaks and such. So it was not really much going on besides that. Some cool teamwork between him and Alfred. and taking down a bad guy, basically. Yeah, not much going on here. All right, we got Brian Michael Bendis on Legion of Superheroes issue 3. We remember at the end of issue 2 that Superboy went and got Damian Wayne's Robin for whatever reason, just to show him how cool the future was. And for some reason, everybody's really freaked out when they see Damian Wayne. So we don't know why. And it's kind of like, dang, what does Damian Wayne do in the past? What does he become that has everybody kind of freaked out in the future? Otherwise, it was a little bit confusing. I mean, you have these two teams just going on these random missions. I liked issue 1 of this, but issue 2 and 3 I haven't really been feeling. And look at how they drew Superboy right here. What is going on with that? Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, right? That looks whack as hell. He-Man and the Masters of the Multiverse, issue 3 of 6. Yeah, I'm over this title already as well, man. Multiple He-Mans, multiple Skeletors. It's kind of cool to get little Easter eggs of all these He-Man characters, like King Hiss and Hordak and everything. But otherwise, I don't know. The anti-He-Man stuff. It was fun. Another one. It was fun at first, and I'm kind of over it already. Then over to DC Black Label, we got Lolo Woods issue 2. Man, I'm kind of confused on this one. This one, I'm not really digging as much as these other Joe Hill Comics books. This one, we remember the two girls kind of fell asleep in this theater, and they woke up, and were they drugged or whatever? And we get some more information on that here. But it just seems like this weird ass town where like people are sucked through the bottom, and the coal mines take everybody, and it's like this cursed type of terrain. I don't know. It's kind of a weird book, but I don't know. I'll probably keep reading this one. All right, guys, and if you haven't guessed it, my pick of the week, the DC Black Label Question issue 2. Man, I don't remember liking issue 1 this much, but issue 2 was great, man. It's kind of like the origins of the Question, going back to the 1800s, and this kind of Wild Wild West thing. They give the Question in the 1800s a name, and it's kind of, is it a coincidence with what his name is? That it's kind of the same name as a Batman Rogue's villain. It was a really good issue. Some racial tension going on in the 1800s. Our main character intervenes, and it becomes a whole big Wild Wild West kind of thing. And I ain't talking about Will Smith, but it was a great issue, and it's kind of like a time thing as well, man. Is this the same guy from the 1800s and the present time? You got to read it to find out. But I recommend this book. I might want to go back and reread issue 1. I think this is a 4-issue series. It's by my man Jeff Lemire, so he's killing everything right now. This is the variant cover by my shop. Didn't get the regular ones for whatever reason, but this was my pick. And let me know what you guys think for your picks of the week in the comments below. All right, guys, we're doing a worldwide giveaway for this 33 Funko Pop Dragon Ball Z collection. All you have to do to enter is be subscribed to the channel and comment down below #DBZ giveaway. It's going to be 1 entry per person. Anybody could win. This is going to be a worldwide giveaway. Just be subscribed, comment below, and once the comments start slowing down, we'll do a live drawing during one of our Sunday streams. So comment below and good luck. Let me know what your favorite book was this week. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more daily content, and stay minty fresh. Peace.